Well,
hey, Ben Askren, how are you, man?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Good. Sorry, we called you earlier, but then we were talking to Charles Crazy Horse Bennett, who now goes by Felony. Had a lot of interesting things to say. Are you here with Renato Laranja and Alan Juban, CB Gold? How are you, Ben?
Well, I missed what you said. What did you say there?
Yeah, why you brush over us like that?
I said I'm here with Alan Juban, Renato Laranja.
Okay, I know him.
And you know Renato Laranja?
I know him also, yeah.
Of course you know that one.
And then CB Gold, I'm sure you've seen him in your pantry. So how are you doing, man? What's going on?
Man, I'm doing well. Really, I haven't been fighting anybody, not by my doing.
Because they scared.
And so I've been focusing a lot on my wrestling academy business. We just opened up our third academy here in Wisconsin, and then we also we bought a building. So we're moving on one of our academies into the building we bought, and that happens like next week. So we've been really, really busy with that, and that's going really, really well.
Where are you getting all this fucking money to buy a building and shit? Where the fuck is... I created this sport, and I don't have no fucking buildings.
A wise man once said, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep.
God,
so
another wise man said,
right there.
Another wise man said, if you know what you got, then you ain't got much. Porra caralho.
No, Ben. Ben. The word is like you don't have to validate this, but the word is you were making $100,000 a fight for ONE FC from the get go. Are we in the ballpark?
Yeah, you're in the ballpark, and it might have went up since then.
I would have been there too for that money like that.
And it might have went up. So when people say why isn't Ben Askren in the UFC or why isn't he in Bellator, because they're going to start you out with maybe 20-20, maybe
Well, I was making. I think my last fight in Bellator was 26-26, I believe.
God,
man, I mean, I could write a book on my free agency period. I pretty much told Bellator I'm out, and then I haven't fully put out there to the extent that I was screwed by the UFC, but I got screwed pretty royally, and it was lucky for me that because I was 12-0 and I was ranked 6th in the world, I had some pretty good offers from one championship and World Series of Fighting, and so I was able to still secure a pretty solid contract for myself, even after that happened.
So that being said, there's no question if you're why you would. I mean, you have a family. You have while MMA is a love of yours, I would say wrestling is your passion, right?
Yeah, wrestling is number one. Always will be number one. You know what's wrong with MMA? There's just too many sleaze bags in MMA. Well, I'm gonna tell you two things. Number
take
one,
that back.
Sleaze bags in MMA. I'm sure you know all kinds of them, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course I do.
And then number two would be there's not I'm going to use Chael Sonnen's term, there's not a competitive architecture to where we determine a champion, In wrestling, for example, if you think you're the best in the country, well, every year, if you're college age, there's an NCAA championship. You show up. If you're the best guy there, you win. Every single year, there's a U.S. Open. If you show up, you enter the bracket. If you beat everybody to win, you're the best guy, right?
Yeah.
If you win that, you go to the World Championships. Everybody shows up. You wrestle it out. There's a best guy, right? And so I don't enjoy the fact that, I do and I don't. I don't enjoy the fact that money a lot of times drives fights. It's like, why did GSP get the title fight at 185? It's pretty ridiculous in any sense of the imagination. And so I sometimes I do like that there's money, but I wish the competitive architecture was there so we could actually find out who the best in the world was on at least a semi-regular basis.
That would be nice, but when money get involved, man, it's just like any other business. It's like the fucking music or movies or whatever. When money get involved, it's who put butt in the seat there.
You look at Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather. The only reason we're having that conversation is because of money.
Of course.
100%. Money skews things so much to the point that people were saying after Conor knocked out Eddie that Conor is the greatest fighter of all time. And I'm thinking, guys, he's 2-1 this year, and one of those two is a very questionable decision in my opinion. This year, he's 2-1, and that one loss and the other questionable decision was to a guy who's ranked 8th in his weight class.
No, you're right.
So
and it wasn't even that fight. That fight could have been at 155. It wasn't like he fought a guy coming down from 190. Well, I'm sure Nate loses weight, but Nate has had a lot of fights at 155. Yeah. Most of his fights, actually.
But let me
realistically, they were both.
Let's not take away what this guy has done for himself. He's very smart, and
what?
Smart.
What was that?
Smart.
Listen, Alan Joban.
T is silent.
Yeah, you still keep covering. Now, what? I lost my train of fucking thought.
Smart. What he's
Conor McGregor.
Yeah. Now,
listen. The boxing thing is so ridiculous. It's just like I'm not the best wrestler in the world right now. If I went to the World Championships, I would not place. I promise you that. But thinking that, and Floyd's the best in the world, thinking that someone from MMA who has never competitively wrestled in his life could beat me in a match, that is like so laughable. Like that is like the most ridiculous thought in the world.
But that's a testament.
And so Conor McGregor never having boxed, the thought of him beating Floyd Mayweather, if that actually happens, then it just says boxing sucks, what it says.
But it's a testament to how magnetic and how much this guy has whipped up everybody into a frenzy. You don't just do that by luck. This fucking guy is smart. Okay, it
depends on how stupid the public is.
But whatever. Look,
how people.
Hey, look. There's a lot of people.
He's a great marketer. I'll give you the fact. He's definitely a great marketer.
Yeah,
There's
and
100% no doubt about that.
Nobody did that for him. He had to did that. So it's like, look, if they want to shut this guy up, they got to beat the shit out of him.
He's also the only guy from Ireland.
Who do you think? Sorry, go ahead.
Or like being like a big fish in a small pond helps.
Yeah, he's the pride of Ireland.
From New Jersey.
Why?
He wouldn't have this all of a sudden all this huge fan base and this and that. It's sort of. I'm not saying he got lucky, but a lot of things have lined up in his favor.
Yes, 100%.
Look,
who do you think wins Personality of the Year at the MMA Fighter Awards in 2017? Conor McGregor or Renato Laranja?
Well, look, say that's not fair to put him in a category that he can't win that one. Because if you're talking about that, I'm always Personality of the Year. And when I was nominated that one year, they fucking hobbed me and gave it to Joe Hogan, who wasn't even there. He did a videotape speech. Okay? I had the courtesy to came all the way there.
Now, Ben, you don't think, though, if it was, back when you said you're not the best wrestler in the world, if it was folk style right now in your weight class, you don't think you could come and like beat anybody in your weight class?
If it's folk style and if you give me 6 to 9 months to train, I think I can give anyone a run for their money in folk style. But in freestyle, right now, number one, the weight classes are jacked up. There was 163 to 189. And number two, some of those the Russian kids and Iranian guys that are performing at such high levels right now. I'm out of my prime. Whether I want to admit it or not, I am. That was about 5 years ago. So, yeah, folk style, I would give myself a chance. Freestyle, no, definitely
Well,
not.
Of course. How the fuck can you imagine to be better at freestyle? You're white. Folk is going to be more your style. And on top of that, what the fuck does this have to do with fighting?
Nothing. It was just an interesting. Now, I heard, Ben, that
Renato, you know that jiu-jitsu is significantly less likely background to create a champion of mixed martial arts than wrestling, right?
That's up to your opinion. An opinion is like an asshole. It remind me of you.
Now, Ben, I heard through the grapevine that when you and Woodley spar, it's pretty even. Is that how it goes?
I have sparred one round with Tyron Woodley in my life.
Oh, okay.
So this is all lies.
We've worked out. We've done a lot of wrestling. We've done a lot of jiu-jitsu, but we have not sparred. I figure when he fights, if they ever give Demian Maia a shot, which is, they probably never will. They'll probably just continue to sit him on the shelf. Then I will be a very effective sparring partner for Woodley because I can give him that look. But I couldn't imitate Stephen Thompson. If you paid me $1 million, I couldn't imitate him.
But you said you would ragdoll Thompson in a fight.
That would happen.
I'm not surprised.
Ben, if you had to break down, I know you said you only sparred him, and I'm not asking you to talk trash on Tyron, but like, what levels would you give yourself, like, the advantage in the wrestling compared to jiu-jitsu and striking, all those? Which ones did you have the upper hand on him?
I mean, yeah, I don't like getting in that discussion too much because I would never fight Tyron.
Mm-hmm.
I think stylistically we're a lot different. He is not a volume striker or not a he wasn't a volume wrestler either. He never kept a really high pace. He picked and chose his spots.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes almost even to a fault, like you would say with this last Wonderboy fight. Almost to a fault. In certain rounds, he just didn't get off.
I agree.
All the strikes they needed to get off, and so, I think with Tyron, the way we've seen Tyron get beat, and he's been significantly more accurate, is when he doesn't land that big punch. I mean, that's when we've seen him lose fights. So obviously, if you fight Tyron Woodley, and I don't think this is not rocket science, you can't get hit with a big shot because when people get hit with a big shot against Tyron, they go down, right? So I think I would, if I were to fight Tyron, I'd have to play it very smartly and then just stay tight, stay on him, and kind of dry hump him, as people call it.
Let me ask you this: when you guys grapple, let's say if you were doing more so jiu-jitsu, when you guys roll in jiu-jitsu, is it more is there submissions, or is it more one guy trying to stay on a dominant position on top?
More one guy trying to stay on a dominant position. Obviously, both come from that wrestling background,
mm-hmm.
and for MMA, you want to be on top. You do not want to be on bottom in MMA. Maybe in 1997 you did, but 2017, if you're spending a lot of time on bottom, that means you're spending a lot of time getting beat up.
Hey, take it easy, okay? 97, 93, 91, that was a lot of my greatest fucking years.
No, Ben. Recently, Matt Hughes said he wanted to come back, and then you said you wanted to be his first fight. What's up with you and Matt Hughes?
Man, I don't. You know what? It's hard. It is sometimes it's hard to put your finger on exactly what. But I have never liked Matt Hughes. I mean, we're talking since he came on the scene. I was like, there was just something about that guy that rubbed me the wrong way. And then obviously then when I got into MMA and kind of started figuring out the MMA community, there's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of very adequate reasons not to like Matt Hughes. I won't go down the list, but there's a lot of good reasons not to. And obviously I'd like to fight Matt Hughes. That would be that would be a lot of fun.
Is it because he's a man of God and you're a funky white boy who likes to listen to funk music and soul music? You call yourself a funky white boy?
You nailed it. Nailed it.
By the way, I don't know what it is with you and these Mizzou fighters, but like anytime we've had Chandler, Tyron, even EJ Brooks on it, they're all convinced that no one in the world could beat you in anything. Was it because you think you were the captain of the team and these guys were looking up to you at the time?
You know what? Actually, it is. I've paid them all a lot of money to say that.
But I'm serious, man. I mean, the respect is. It says a lot about you. Because a lot of times you got these guys. Oh, I could, blah blah blah. But they're all convinced that you would find a way to win, which is what It's just kind of. I'm not upset. I'm happy because look, you got all your brain cells. You're 15-0. You made a lot of money. You did a lot of really good things for the sport. I would like to have seen you get that UFC belt. But, you can't do everything, so.
Yeah, I would have liked to. I mean, even if it was in the back room, and that's, I get to work out with Tyron, and so, I get to work out with the best guys in the world, and I worked out with Shields when he was number 2. Really, the one guy I never got to work out with was GSP. I never got to work out with him ever. But most of the top guys I did get to, at the very least, work out with, so I understood what level I was on. But yeah, like I said, one of the sad things about MMA is it's positive and negative. The money gets in the way, and a lot of times you don't get to see who the best is. I mean, why is right?
Yeah.
I think Tyron would beat Demian Maia, but Demian Maia right now should be getting a shot at the title.
Yeah.
Jacare should be getting a shot at the title, and so the 155-pound belt. Why hasn't Khabib had a shot? The guy's 23-0 for God's sake. And so we don't always necessarily get to see who the best is. right?
How do you think you would do against Bisping?
We don't always get that.
How do you think you would do against Bisping?
What'd you say?
How do you think you would do against Michael Bisping?
Well, I mean, he's tough and he does get up, but if you watch my fights, I'm like a blanket more than any other wrestler. Once I get on top of you, it's hard to shake me. So I think I would get on top of Michael. He has been, he's been taken down many times. His strength is usually pops right back up, but I think I would take him down and keep him down.
I spent a lot of time under the blankets in my life. So I feel like I'm unique. I'm uniquely qualified to know my way around there.
So now we got to talk about another one
under there.
We got to talk about
what was that?
What do you?
I said, what were you doing under there?
Well, I was doing a lot of stuff that I don't want to talk about here. But I was doing more than laying some farts under there. I'll tell you that.
Now we got to talk about CM Punk. Now a lot of CM Punk. I was getting conflicting people. Some people at Rufus Sport were saying this guy gets murdered in sparring. He's 1-30 in fights. Bilal Muhammad says he's a world beater, and he was just fucking everyone up in practice. CM Punk.
Bilal said CM Punk?
Yeah, said CM Punk was like...
What, Bilal from House Party?
Yeah, Bilal, the guy in Young Black Teenagers. Yes, that guy. So how is CM Punk, honestly?
He's not going to say. He can't say.
He works hard. Yeah, give him that.
You putting him in an unwinnable position.
I mean, guys, what would you expect with a 37-year-old man who's never had combat sports background of any type, right?
Of course.
You try to help encourage him, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
I mean...
Yeah, exactly.
But, I mean, don't you think someone should have told him, like, hey, listen, look, I want to be in the NBA. It's not going to happen,
No, because of money. Because of money, that's why they won't.
Well, you know what they say about MMA fighting, right, is that all you have to do to be a professional fighter is be willing to be paid to get beat up. There's no prerequisite. There's none. You don't have to play college football. You don't have to do high school. You ain't got to do nothing. You just got to be willing to take some money to get beat up if you're a professional fighter.
Say that word again. What was it?
Prerequisite.
Huh?
Prerequisite. Most athletic endeavors have prerequisites to get to the next level.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
MMA, all you got to do is show up and take $100, get your ass whooped, and you're a professional athlete.
Now, Ben, you roll with Marcelo Garcia back when you were brand new, and then according to Hanato, you went up against Marcelo. It was
that
even.
Is not according to me. I talk about Demian Maia. I never fucking talked about Ben Askren.
No, you versus Marcelo. You said it was.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, I was. Look, me and Marcelo we have to understand. And there's respect there between both of us.
You said you would have won, but your back was hurt.
Well, right? And then there's issue of glaucoma.
and he's pretty good, Renato, but I don't know if he's quite as good as you.
Bursitis. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right about that.
Now, Hanato, how do you think you and Askren would do in just jiu-jitsu?
This is like a Apple and Laranja. This is Askren and Laranja, and it's a different sport. He will be the first to agree. And look,
he's a black belt.
Never mind that. When I came to Rufus Sport, he was nowhere to be found.
Oh, really?
Okay, he was washing his hair. and let me tell you something. When I look at that, I see those curly, beautiful Jerry curl he have, and that's just a target for me.
Right.
He's gonna be in there. It's hard to get out of that headlock when you're at that point.
Now, Ben. Now, for years you saying you don't use deodorant. Is that still the case?
Oh, caralho.
That is still the case. I'm all natural. No deodorant.
Oh, no. That reminds me of Matt Horowitz, porra. I have to hold with that guy.
Not like that guy. That guy stinks.
He smell
like him.
He smell like an African cabbie.
Yeah, he's terrible. He smells so bad.
But let me tell you something. I like that guy. And it's very disconcerting because he have like some autism, and when I'm not, you think I'm not making fun. I'm saying he have a.
Is that serious? Does he really or no? Or is he making that?
No, I'm not playing. He have some. Okay, you guys think I'm joking, but I think it's very interesting actually because the guy have a look. I'm not making fun of that guy. He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
He have something I think is close to like maybe Asperger or something like that, and so he have no inner monologue when he's holding with you. He'll just tell himself he go hustle, like shit like that. And he say, take your left leg and put it over there and do this. And it's shocking to you. It's like a horror movie when that's happening because it starts to come true what he's saying to you.
I've read what he does that. He starts whispering in your ear what he's going to do to you.
Yeah, but he's not doing it to be an asshole. He's just doing it. And let me say something. I'm not making fun of that guy. In fact, I'm very proud of that guy. I feel like they should do a fucking movie about him because I never seen.
It was called My Left Foot.
Oh God, you got a lot of nerve, Adam Hunch.
All right, go on.
But anyway, and if you ever seen the interview with him and Karen Bryant when he won the title, he was a big underdog. He choked out Talos Leites for a title, and Karen Bryant came in and she said, "This is exciting. This is so incredible. What? I can't believe this. You must be so excited. What's next for you, Matt Horowitz?" He said, "Well, I'm gonna drink some water and have some dinner with friends and family." Okay, so he look at stuff very different than most people, and I love that guy from the bottom of my heart. I love Matt Horowitz.
So Ben, how's the disc golfing doing?
Man, I live in Wisconsin. It's too cold up here.
Oh man,
we got about 6 weeks left, and disc golf season will start.
He was ranked 7th in the world in that.
In what?
In disc golf.
Where you diss people on each hole?
No, it's not like a rank out contest. It's basically you throw like a frisbee.
Oh, a disc.
I
thought he was diss people.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a comedy host.
In the world in like frisbee golf.
No shit. Wow. How the fuck you get involved in that?
There's a lot of disc golf in California. I'm surprised Renato hasn't went and checked it out yet.
Yeah, no, I mean, shit. We better do that before the brothers start getting involved in that one.
And how's Max doing, by the way?
Max is good. He's working really hard on this new academy.
Who's Max? Who's Max?
His brother.
His brother was
next week. Your brother was a national champion, right?
Yes, Adam. How come you did not go to the NCAA?
The
greatest wrestling tournament on planet Earth.
My goal is to go there one year. I would love to go, but his brother is a national champion, and he's the least successful Askren, which is crazy. Like it's so hard to be a national champion, and then which is crazy.
Well, Adam, just like your passion was for wrestling, his passion it was for comedy.
Yeah, exactly.
And comedy needed him.
Yes. So
Ben, what are your thoughts on the Bellator welterweight title fight coming up? Lorenz Larkin just got signed. He was given the title shot right away. What are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I'm excited. I think Lima and Koreshkov are both very good. I follow both of them, and I do think that when people are not in the UFC, they get thought of on a kind of a lower tier, right? Mm-hmm. And I think Koreshkov, he proved his worth. He beat up Van Harrison pretty bad, pretty devastating fashion. So he kind of showed people how good he was. I think Lima's pretty damn good too.
Yeah.
And Larkin's kind of on a nice streak, so I guess it'd be interesting to see. I mean, I think if Larkin stay in the UFC, he'd probably be ranked, I don't know, top 12-ish right now. Of
course.
So and then obviously Rory's gonna get in the mix at some point. I thought he signed with him like a year ago, and so I'm waiting for his first fight to be announced still.
No,
so
he's fighting Paul Daly.
Division.
He's got a big fight against Daly in London coming up.
He's fighting Paul Daly.
Oh, I missed that?
Yeah, that's I think that's next month. That'll be a good one. What's his name though? Koreshkov, the champion? Koreshkov, he's
No, Lima's the champion.
What's his name?
Lima's the champion.
Lima is the champion. I'm sorry. Who's fighting?
They're 1-1. They beat each other.
Who's fighting?
Larkin.
Doug
Lima.
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 Both of those guys, Lima and Koreshkov, they both have improved grappling. I remember when you fought these guys, you pretty much ragdolled him, and since then their grappling's improved heavily, man. They've been taking a lot of guys down.
That's not gonna. I don't feel like that's gonna came into play that much.
You don't think they're gonna try to take down Larkin?
I've been seeing.
I don't see Lima trying to take down. I don't see him trying to take down Larkin. That would surprise me.
And Larkin's takedown defense has gotten so fucking good. He's just hop on one leg and get the fuck out of there. That young blood.
Well, listen, Ben, it was an honor to have you on
I
the
had
show.
some more questions for Ben.
Okay, go on.
Well, Ben, I wanted to ask you because we didn't have a chance to have a heart to heart. But where you came from, where you was born?
I was born in Iowa.
In Iowa. So, because I noticed ever since you went to Hoofsport, you have like that Chicago / Milwaukee accent where you say like Adam Hunter and stuff like that. Where that came from?
I lived in Wisconsin since I was 4.
Oh, that's why. Okay, because Adam Hunch told me the wrong information. He said that you was from somewhere else, Missouri or something like that. Because I was wondering, I said he have that same Duke Hoofus accent.
Duke Hoofus.
Because all
right, guys. Thanks. Hey, Adam.
Yes.
Cleveland next year, NCAAs. I better see you there.
I'll be there. Thank you. Thanks, Ben.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Stay funky.
All right, that was Ben Askren.